Previously on our drama, there were lots of things you need to know. I'll tell you what has happened on all of the previous episodes. Sir Henry shot at dinner and the maybe Mrs. hanged herself, or possibly was murdered, but with this stuff, who can tell? Lord Marblesham had come home early from his business there abroad. His friends were dying strangely, so he's quarantined behind his door. Strange Mr. Lambda came to find the killer who was in the house. And a complete stranger's corpse has fallen in the hall, but God knows how. The cook was poisoned just as she was going to solve the whole damn case. A thunderclap of power went and everybody ran away. Poor Mr. Lambda drowned outside, the others are all trapped inside. The fourth was in a secret hide, so anyone survived the night. Lord Marblesham was found having been gagged and bound inside his room. He says Lambda's the killer and will send them all to certain doom. Meanwhile, downstairs her ladyship has found the gun cupboard unlocked, so she says Chive's the killer, which has thickened up this thickest plot. Lambda's confession note appears to solve most of this twisted case, but who attacked her ladyship and seemed to try and eat her face? Inspector Creep and Cramp have finally made it up to the 4th floor. But will the person hiding up there help him get this killer caught?
Final episode, eh? Ooh, you know, I got this strange feeling that not everyone's gonna make it to the end. Still, at least it means we haven't got to have any more of your singing. Oh!
Previously on the mystery of Marblesham Manor. Oh, actually, could I be Colonel Mustard, or is that Monopoly? If we ever do get out of here, Cramp, I'm going to go and visit your mother. I'm going to knock on the door, introduce myself, go inside, sit down, and then I'm going to tell her how you've not only ruined the entire flaming police force, but you've also ruined my bleeding, buggering life. Lambda. There's something about that name. Oh, the clock's moving, and now there's a staircase. Oh, this ain't half creepy, sir. Quiet, Cramp. Someone's coming. Oh God, who is it? Oh, I know precisely who it is. It's taken me a while, but I now know everything that's been going on in this madhouse. It's okay, you can come out now, and then we can finish this forever. And now, the conclusion. 4 o'clock in the morning, and almost everyone is sound asleep. What the bally hell is going on? It's 4 o'clock in the morning, for Christ's sake. Oh, I was having the most wonderful dream. Is there anything to eat? I'm rather peckish and aren't too keen on these marshmallows. Those are your pillows, Great Uncle Warminster. Oh, my last night of freedom and no sleep at all. Oh well, I got some wonderful flower arrangements done, but I don't suppose anyone will even look at them, will you? Thought not. I had only just got to the Sleepingtons myself. Not that I was supposed to get any of the 40 of the Vinks, because I was guarding Chives, but you know, I too was having a wonderful dream, Lady Marblesham. Oh dear, did I wake you all up? Did I disturb your precious la-di-da sleep? Oh, I'm so sorry. How inconsiderate of me. Naughty, Inspector. Naughty. It's just there's the tiny little matter of multiple bleeding murders, if you'll pardon my home economics. Now look here, just what the hell is going on here, Inspector? Ah, well, that's the question, isn't it, Lord Marblesham? That is the question that's been plaguing us since the beginning. And if you'd all be so kind to join me and Constable Cramp in the drawing room, I am finally going to answer it. Right, well, it looks like everyone's here, so let's get on with this nonsense, shall we, so we can all get back to bed. Almost, everyone, your lordship, almost. We have a special guest who will be joining us in a short while. Oh, and of course, Sir Henry won't be joining us, or Mavis, or the cook, or the so-called stranger from the hall, what with them all having been brutally murdered and everything. And poor Mr. Lambda, don't forget him, Inspector. Oh, I'm not, Lady Marblesham. I'm not. Yes, look, we know all this already, and it's very sad and everything, but we already know that Lambda and Chives are responsible for the murders. Do we indeed? Do we? And Lady Marblesham, tell me, who was present in the dining room when your son, Sir Henry, was shot? There was myself, of course, and my son Henry, Mr. Lambda, Great Uncle Warminster, and some service staff, I forget which. Well, Great Uncle Warminster has more shakes than a salt cellar. No way he could aim straight. Plus he's completely around the twist. The staff were too far away from the victim, according to Yum Yum's ballistics. That is correct. And it wasn't suicide. So, that just leaves Lambda and Lady Marblesham.
Why on earth would I want to kill my own son, Inspector?
And maybe for the same reason someone killed Mavis. Because the two of them were having an affair.
Oh, gosh.
And this wasn't just some silly dalliance. It was serious. So serious, in fact, that they had become engaged. And were even planning on announcing their engagement in the Times. Now that would be a scandal, wouldn't it? Sir Henry Marblesham marrying a mere parlour maid, and not something that could remain hidden, not once it appeared in the Times. Not like the other secret relationship in this house. Hence why the poor parlour maid who Mavis entrusted to take the announcement letter to the post office never quite made it. And the letter sank without trace into the bog. Apart from the stamp, of course, which you didn't think I noticed you picking up, Lady Marblesham, whilst we were out there at the bog. Must not have been stuck down properly.
Oh, this is outrageous, outrageous.
Oh, I'm only just beginning, Lady Marblesham. So, you or Lamdax shot Sir Henry, but who shot the stranger, who we know from witness statements and the professor's examination was shot just a few seconds after Sir Henry? Well, at least we know now that there were two identical guns, which explains that bit. But that means there were two killers. Well, obviously it was Chives. He wasn't in the dining room at the time of Henry's murder, and only he had the key to access the other gun. Plus, Lamdax's confession note said as much. Really, Inspector, if you're the cream of Scotland Yard, I think you might have gone off. Oh no, but it can't have been Chives, can it? Because according to all the statements I took, he entered the dining room just seconds after the second gunshot.
You bang. I took away Chives.
So there's no way he could have made it back downstairs in time, well, unless he used Lord Marblesham's diving door, but then he'd have been all wet, wouldn't he? Very good, Cramp. We'll make a detective of you yet.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'll tell my mother.
Also, I can't swim.
Well, then who did do it? I do tire of all this mystery.
Well, at face value, with Lamdax's confession note and no one being murdered since he drowned in the bog, it would all seem to point to Mr. Lamdax, with some sort of help from Chives, which we already worked out ages ago. Good night, Inspector. There's just one problem with that. Sit down, please, Lord Marblesham. But I said sit down. The problem with this obvious and neat little explanation, apart from it being far too convenient, is that not only is Mr. Lamdax not dead, he never existed. Really, Inspector, if this nonsense is the best you can do, I shan't tell you again, Lord Marblesham. Sit down. Lamdax. Lamdax. I knew there was something about that name. And then, of course, I realised Lamdax. Lamdac. Lord Anthony Marblesham, disguised as Californian.
Gosh.
You couldn't resist it, could you, Lord Marblesham, when you were creating your fake persona to hide a little clue within the name? Just a shame you couldn't get the accent right. Oh, this is utterly preposterous, and I shan't stand for another minute of it. No, you shan't. You'll sit for it. Cramp, cover him. What, you mean with a blanket or something, you mean? With the gun, you cretin. Oh, right, so yes, right, yo. This entire thing is an utter shambles. A farce. I was quarantined in my room during all the murders, not to mention tied up. Or am I supposed to have done that to myself? Oh, no. No, you forced your unwilling accomplice to do that. Just like you forced them to shoot the man upstairs, turn the power out whenever you wanted, and throw the man's body off the balcony.
What accomplice?
Why, your lover, Lady Marblesham, who you've been hiding up on the 4th floor. You can come in now. And may I introduce Jessica, the parlour maid, who didn't quite die in the bog like we were meant to think, and like Lady Marblesham told Lord Marblesham she did, after he told her to get rid of her, to make sure the scandal of Sir Henry and Mavis never got out.
Please, Inspector, there's no need to drag all of this out. The whole world knows there is no love between myself and Anthony. It was always a marriage of status and convenience. Me having a lover would surprise no one, even with a servant, and we would never have told anyone anyway. We aristocracy are rather good at keeping secrets, but a relationship with a woman in this century, I had to guard that secret more than most.
What century is this, anyway?
Nobody knows.
Oh, right. When Lord Marblesham found out that you hadn't had her meet with a little accident like he'd asked you to, he forced her to be his accomplice, presumably using blackmail.
You beast!
The cook had it all figured out, of course. Poor woman. Which is why you slipped quinine into her drink when Jessica provided you with the perfect distraction by throwing the body over the balcony and then killing the lights. Quinine is, of course, a popular malaria treatment, which you would have been given, Lord Marblesham, and since you had no actual need for it, as you never really had malaria, you could store it up and use it on the cook. The cook knew it all. Family funds running low due to Henry's extravagances. So you wanted to get rid of all your mining competitors and your partners so you could make a new fortune all by yourself. So you came up with the perfect murders. Well, nearly perfect. You never returned here early at all. You sent someone else, dressed up like you. They came here and went straight to your room, never coming out. Everyone was used to you keeping your distance from Lady Marblesham, so no worry there. So, everyone thinks you're quarantined away safely at home in England. You even set up a gramophone record of your voice in case of emergencies, which almost worked if it wasn't for the scratches. Quarantine, don't you know, don't you know, don't you know. This left you free to kill whoever you needed to out in Papua New Guinea, and then return here disguised as Lamdak. Kill Henry and Mavis, force Jessica to kill your imposter friend, leave a confession from Lamdak, then safely re-emerge as Lord Marblesham from your room with the perfect alibi for all the murders. The cook put a spoke in the wheels of your plan, of course, which forced you to have Jessica throw your imposter's body into the hall as a distraction, instead of getting rid of it in the bog as you'd planned, but that gave you time to deal with the cook. And you couldn't get both bodies out during the power cut, so you took the cook's as she was lightest, and so all evidence of poison was disposed of. Of course, you knew Chives already knew about Sir Henry and Mavis and Lady Marblesham and Jessica, so you set him up as the killer, as you knew everyone thought he had the only keys. But when you gave him those keys yourself when you first employed him, making a big thing of them being the only ones, of course, you actually had your own copies. Is there anything I'm missing, Lord Marblesham? Just one thing, Inspector. I only put one bullet in Jessica's gun. Didn't want her getting any silly ideas and using it on me afterwards. Whereas the other gun, the gun I have here,
Oh gosh!
still has 5 bullets left in it. So I rather think I have the upper hand, so to speak. The way to the village will be passable any minute now, Lord Marblesham, and my reinforcements will be here very shortly afterwards. You've nowhere to run, Lord Marblesham. I don't need to run, Inspector. I'll just alter Mr. Lamdak's note to include how he also killed all of you lots before he died, and then I'll tie myself up back in my room. Any last words, Inspector? Yes, actually, just 2. You didn't even notice him leave, did you? Anyway, my last words. Now, Cramp!
Yes, sir!
Oh, very clever. But I can still shoot you in the dark. What the devil?
I took the liberty of removing the bullets, sir. And might I say how much I've hated working for you these past 5 years, you horrid little upstart.
You'll all die for this. You'll all die. I'll kill you all.
Oh, Jessica, are you all right, my dear? What dreadful things that pig has made you do. Come here, my dear.
Oh, so it wasn't someone attacking Lady Marblesham, it was Jessica kissing her. Indeed. But how are we going to stop this madman, Lord Mama? Oh, don't worry. Me, Chives and Cramp have set a little something up. Are you back yet, Cramp?
Oh, yes, sir, here I am, sir.
Everything ready your end, Chives?
Yes, sir. I shall take my place now, sir.
Good man. Right, Yum Yum, you stay here, look after Jessica, Lady Marblesham and Great Uncle All-You-Can-Eat Buffet. Cramp, let's go.
Oh, yes, sir.
A few moments later, upstairs.
Okay, Cramp, this is it. You ready? Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir.
It's okay, Jessica. You're the one crucial bit of evidence that will seal Lord Marblesham's fate. But we won't let him get to you. You'll be safe in here. In you go. Now we're just going to go unlock the front door and let our reinforcements in. We'll be back in a minute.
Okay, Cramp, pretend to walk away. Oh, yes, sir, right, sir. Okay, that's enough. He's coming.
4, 5, 4, fade. I smell the blood of a degenerate parlour maid. Come here, little Jessica. Come to Daddy. Oh, very clever. And I nearly fell for it. fell being the operative word. This isn't the room I think it is. Is it, Inspector? Disorientated in the dark. This is my diving door, no doubt with a nasty surprise waiting for me down in the pool. Chives lowering an electrical device into the water, perhaps? Very good. How the bleeding hell do you know all that? Well, unfortunately for you, Inspector, I spent a great deal of time in the dark and can see rather well in it. Also, unfortunately for you, I have fetched one of my more sharper swords. Oh dear, according to this confession note, it seems that deranged Mr. Lamdak ended his killing spree with a rather nasty sword attack frenzy, slicing and stabbing until there was nobody left, apart from poor old malaria-ridden Lord Marblesham, of course, safe in his room. I am going to enjoy this. Sir? What is it, Cramp? We're about to be brutally hacked to pieces here. Well, I just wanted to say, sir, that it's been an honour working with you, sir. And I've always looked up to you, sir. What are you on about, Cramp? And well, although I know I'm not a very good policeman, I always hoped that with your guidance I would have become even half as good as detective as you one day, Cramp. Only well, I can't let this man hurt anyone else, sir, especially not you, and so I just wanted you to know, really, and I hope you think kindly of me in the future, sir. Cramp, what are you... Goodbye, sir. Lord Marblesham, I think it's time for a swim. What? Cramp, no! Here I come! Cramp, no! Cramp! No. And so our story comes to an end. Lady Marblesham and Jessica lived happily together, refusing to keep their love a secret any longer, no matter what century it was. Chive stayed on with them, but as an equal, and became one of the best flower arrangers in England, winning several awards. And Great Uncle Warminster finally got some new glasses, which he immediately ate. Oh, that's funny, that is. You still here? You really should be going now, you know. Oh yeah, I understand that now. That's why my voice has gone all high, isn't it? And why you're able to keep shooting me all the time without me coming to any harm. I'm dead. I'd forgotten that. Silly thing to forget, really. Fancy forgetting throwing yourself into a swimming pool and getting all electrocuted. Silly me. Silly me. No, brave you. Hero you. Now go towards the light now, my friend. Goodbye, Cramp. Oh, please, call me Tom. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. And goodbye to all of you listening out there. But before we go, just one more scene. Hello? Oh, good morning, Mrs. Cramp. My name's Inspector Creep. I was just wondering if I might come in and talk to you about your son. You see, I wanted you to know he was the best goddamn officer we've ever had.